I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Players in one of the ugliest Hollywood disputes in recent memory faced off in a New York City courtroom today.
I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the evidence points to that.
Are we releasing more documents and text messages?
I assume.
Baldoni is going on the offensive. He just launched a website containing 168 pages of documents and texts.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence, where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
That's Justin Baldoni's lawyer, where he is coming fresh out of the courthouse, where a gag order was not granted to Blake Lively. This saga has just gotten more intense. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's legal teams had arrived for a pretrial hearing that many expected to be routine. Instead, it became clear this dispute was anything but ordinary. Observers were surprised when a gag order, which had been predicted to go through without much friction, was promptly denied. Instantly, the tension in the room climbed. Some speculated that Blake's attorneys had arrived armed with a different plan altogether, one that would place them on the offensive rather than playing defense. Even more jaw-dropping was the revelation that Blake's team had set a deadline. By Valentine's Day, they intended to file a counterattack. Nobody knew precisely what that entailed, but the mere mention of a looming legal bombshell stirred a flurry of rumors, each one more startling than the last. Reporters tried to pry more details out of both parties. Some claimed that behind the scenes, there was significant pressure from influential allies. Others whispered that Blake's legal counsel was quietly gathering statements, seeking sworn testimony from individuals not yet named in the official paperwork. Meanwhile, Justin's attorney, Brian Fredman, addressed the media briefly, insisting his client's innocence would be proven in due time. Despite the chaotic environment, there was an unmistakable sense that each side was more focused on shaping public perception than actually resolving the case. Whether this strategy would help or hurt them remained an open question, but the drama gripping everyone's attention was undeniably powerful. Speculation ran wild about how deep this clash might go and who else it might ensnare. By the time the hearing ended, one thing was clear: this legal battle was only beginning, and its ripple effects could stretch far beyond these courthouse walls. But that was just the first crack in an unfolding story that seemed ready to burst wide open. What really caught everyone's attention were certain scathing remarks, seemingly directed at people once described as trusted allies. One thread in particular showcased how a friendly conversation about script revisions quickly spiraled into finger-pointing and talk of behind-the-scenes sabotage. The individuals involved had once presented themselves as a unified front, but these documents suggested the cracks might have formed long ago. Observers couldn't decide if this was a legitimate attempt to clear Justin's name or a calculated effort to smear other players. Either way, it forced anyone following the story to wonder how much of Hollywood's glossy exterior was nothing more than strategic performance. To top it all off, the site's footer included a cryptic note hinting that more uploads, possibly even more damning, would be released in the coming weeks. The entire situation felt like a high-stakes chess match, with each move meticulously planned to catch opponents off guard. But those who thought the timeline was the biggest bombshell hadn't yet heard about Ryan Reynolds' startling change of heart. Ryan had previously been seen as Justin's friend and collaborator. In the early stages of their relationship, the two were photographed at fundraisers, charity events, and behind-the-scenes gatherings, often exchanging warm words in interviews. At one point, Ryan explicitly referred to Justin as a wonderful collaborator, praising his dedication to every project he touched. That glowing review seemed heartfelt at the time, especially given the genuine smiles they exchanged in public. But the facade cracked when private messages dating from just a few months later came to light. In these texts, Ryan allegedly went so far as to call Justin a deranged predator, a label that stunned fans who thought the two men shared a mutual respect. It was a complete 180 from Ryan's earlier tone. Instantly, people asked, what changed? Did Ryan learn something new, or was he coerced into shifting his perspective? Speculation ranged from personal disputes over creative control to accusations that overshadowed the final production phases.